Okay, your favorite saint.
So I have lots of favorite saints, but one of my favorite would be Saint Margaret Mary and Alcoque, mostly because of her devotion and what she brought about for the Sacred Heart.
Yeah.
I love the Sacred Heart, and I've had a lot of really good blessings happen through it. So you kind of
Named
can't.
her firstborn after.
Yeah, so.
I'd consider my favorite saint probably Saint Margaret of Cartona, because she represents to me that anybody can become a saint. Like, she started out with a normal and somewhat dissolute life and then totally did an about face, although it was due to somewhat tragic circumstances, and is now a saint, even though she had started out totally kind of normal and maybe even on the bad side of normal.
Who's your favorite saint?
Saint Elizabeth,
Why is she your favorite saint?
because she's my saint.
She's your saint. Okay, Dan. Who's your favorite saint?
Well, I think I have to qualify it as favorite saint other than Saint Joseph, because I think he rises above all the rest. You have our Lord, our Blessed Mother, who is the greatest of all creatures, and Saint Joseph, who I think in a lot of ways was the greatest of all saints, especially for a father. But beyond that, I would say probably Saint Peter has a special place in my heart, because, I mean, here he was a hulk of a man. He was a large man, deep voice, powerful. He was the most important man in the history of the church, that not only the first pope, but the greatest pope. And what does he do when he's writing his own biography, or basically laying out his own biography? He talks to Saint Mark, and the other evangelists pick up on this, to make him look as bad as he possibly can. So, I mean, we get the story of Stand Behind Me, Satan. We got the story of St. Peter not wanting to have his feet washed by our Lord, and the little conflict there. Of course, the famous story of him denying our Lord 3 times in the garden. And those things, I think, bring such a three-dimensionality to St. Peter. He could have been almost like on a pedestal with our Blessed Mother in a way. I mean, not that high, but I mean, he could have been on that kind of a pedestal. But he chose to be looked at in the most humble way possible. So I think he is so endearing the way he is portrayed, and allowed himself to be portrayed through history. I love St. Peter.
Who is your favorite saint, Sister Evangeline?
Well, I have to say St. John the Evangelist, since I'm Sister Evangeline. And because he was the only apostle who went all the way to the foot of the cross with our Lord, and he was a virgin apostle, and he was the only one both bold enough and close enough to our Lord to lean on him at supper, and because any friend of Our Lady is a friend of mine.
Okay, Gabe. Who's your favorite saint?
I'd say it's between 2 pretty evenly, is Saint Benedict, which is my confirmation saint, and Saint Joseph, the spouse of Our Lady. I'd have to probably say Saint Joseph as the top, or number 1 over Saint Benedict slightly. Well, he's the spouse of Our Lady and the foster father of our Lord, so it can't really beat that. And also just that Saint Joseph has never said, or there's no recorded word of Saint Joseph, and he was the silent saint, but yet was so crucial and important in our Lord's life, and helped protect the Holy Family. So yeah, I'd say Saint Joseph, and also him being the patron saint of woodworking, which I enjoy. So yeah, I think Saint Joseph is my favorite saint.
It's also your middle name.
And it's also my middle name, so.
So, Margaret, who is your favorite saint?
Mary.
Oh, Jesus' mommy?
Yeah.
Okay, Father Philip, who's your favorite saint?
My favorite saint is Saint Philip Neri, my namesake. And I found him a favorite for me because he is so opposite my born-in temperament. Saint Philip is known for his joyful love of God and for finding all of the wonderful things in his faith. He, of course, had an incredibly deep devotion to the passion of our Lord, and understood the cross very, very well, but was really known for filling people with happiness, and the maxim to draw more people to Christ with honey than with vinegar. So I find a lot of my opposites or the things that I lack are the strengths of St. Philip. So in a nutshell, I could go on and on and on, obviously, but in a nutshell, that's why he's my favorite.
Awesome.
Okay, Lisa, so the pressure is on here. You are the host of Feast Day Quick Take.
Hostess.
So, hostess of Feast Day Quick Take. Who's your favorite saint?
Okay, so I've been pondering this, and I think that I have to cave in and say that I have the same theory as I do in mothering, that I have a favorite child, and the favorite child changes every day, and sometimes more than once a day. And I have many favorite saints that change constantly. And especially now that I have started doing the Feast Day Quick Takes, I learn new saints and I add new ones to my favorites list every week. But going all the way back, my favorite saint ever has got to be Saint Bernadette. She's my middle name, and like my granddaughter said, she's my saint. And and she's awesome. I love Saint Bernadette, little feisty Saint Bernadette. But I also love Saint Teresa of Avila. And Saint Teresa of Avila and I kind of have a simpatico understanding of one another. She's one of those saints that will smack you upside the head with a smile, which is exactly another one of my mothering theories. But then as I have started doing the Feast Day Quick Takes, I've had some saints that surprised me, like St. Mary Cleophas. Who knew? If you haven't listened to the life of St. Mary Cleophas, go back and check her out. She is amazing. She's a go-to now. And St. Isidore of Seville. I had no idea that said, these saints I thought I knew. I didn't really know until I started to really research them. But St. Isidore of Seville invented punctuation and encyclopedias and thesauruses. So yes, he is now my guru for grammar, and I love St. Isidore of Seville. The list goes on and on. I love St. John Bosco. He helped us raise our boys. Thank you, St. John Bosco. Not that boys are harder than girls, but they are different. I think there is going to be probably a new saint next week. Last week I learned about St. Alphonsus Ligurian, so now he's on my quick dial. But every week there will be somebody new, and that's the beauty of being Catholic. You learn every day. You can learn more. It's a never-ending process of discovery.